Welcome back to Grace as we continue with another midweek devotion during this season of Advent. And as we did last week, we're going to focus on a beloved Advent or Christmas hymn tonight. And I'll leave it to you to figure out by the end of tonight's devotion which hymn it is. And then we'll sing it together. So the hymn we're talking about tonight is a little special because although it's a beloved Christmas hymn, it is neither about Christmas, nor is it a hymn. In fact, it was written as a simple poem intended to be spoken. The author of this poem is well known among hymn-writing circles, but this time he wasn't writing one. It was the year 1719, and the author was writing poems through the book of Psalms. He got to Psalm 98 and penned the text that would become this hymn. Hymns up until then had been, well, let's say dry. You really only had the scriptures in the setting where this composer is from, this author. You only had the scriptures or text from verses, and, well, let me have the author tell you in his own words. To see the dull indifference, the negligent and thoughtless air that sits upon the faces of a whole assembly while the psalm is upon their lips, might tempt a charitable observer to suspect the fervency of their inward religion. Well, that is an insult couched in very beautiful poetic language, if I've ever heard one. His father issued him a challenge. If you don't like it, write something better. I don't know whether his father thought that this challenge would be taken up, but indeed it was. And this author became one of the most prolific hymn writers in our hymnal. Some of his other hymns include When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, Not All the Blood of Beasts, Alas, and Did My Savior Bleed, O God, Our Help in Ages Past, From All That Dwell Below the Skies, Jesus Shall Reign, and 7 others, just in our hymnal alone, plus the hymn we're talking about tonight. This hymn is not a Christmas hymn, but it is very appropriate for the season of Advent. You see, this hymn speaks of the second coming of Jesus, of his triumphal return to earth, not as a child, but as king. When Jesus returns to earth this time, he will take care of all that which needs to be wiped out, and he will bless all that which should be blessed. I had to be very careful with my words there, because if I gave any more, I would just be quoting the hymn, and that's no fun. But let me read to you Psalm 98. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. The Lord has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and the sound of melody, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a joyful noise before the King, the Lord. Let the sea roar and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord. For he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity. Now, as I said, the author of this hymn did not write the tune. In fact, the tune was adapted later from an oratorio by George Handel. It is, in fact, the only melody of Handel that we have in our hymnal. The hymn by Isaac Watts is Joy to the World.